Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is episode 107 of Meet the Experts. My name is Jay Vix, the host and the owner of JVI Mobile Marketing, which is a company that helps provide business owners with software to run their entire business called Journey Builder. And Meet the Experts is powered by Journey Builder. If you've never seen Meet the Experts before and you wonder what Meet the Experts is, and this is maybe your first episode or your first time seeing me, Meet the Experts is a service that we started just before the pandemic. We started in really February, March of 2020. Our first episode was like when things were shutting down. And the whole concept and purpose behind Meet the Experts was to interview local, maybe not local to us, but people in their communities, local to their communities, business owners who maybe they don't have a lot of video to put out on social media or to use in their marketing, and they just need more video content. But instead of hiring, video people and editors and everything to do all of these professional videos, we're like, why not just interview them and give them the interview and say, hey, do what you want with it, totally free. So it was value in advance content. It's been a really, really great service. We've had a ton of great feedback. And our guest today is somebody who I've met through networking recently and just super, super good guy. And I can't wait to have him on. So let's talk about Joel PVA today. He is the owner of Stand Strong Fencing. I got my notes over here. He operates out of Winston-Salem and serves the entire North Carolina triad. He is originally from Venezuela, and we had a funny moment before we recorded this, before we started recording, when I was trying to understand something he said that was so simple, and that's on me. But anyway, after a successful 25-year career in corporate across 4 different countries, he took the leap to start his own company. He's an entrepreneur, and he wanted to pursue his passion to support the local community by delivering top quality fencing solutions. And when I say fencing solutions, I mean the one that go around your house, not sticking people with a sword. Anyway, Joel brings a wealth of experience, dedication, and commitment to excellence in every project. Without further ado, Joel, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Good to see you, Jay. Thank you very much for inviting me to your podcast. I was listening to the introduction. I was laughing myself. I mean, you got all the funny facts already. Now, but it's an honor to share this platform with you and connect with your audience. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. Helping small business owners and myself and entrepreneurs in this journey. I'm really excited to be here with you today.
Awesome, thank you. Now, I know before we get really into the meat of it, so one of the big avenues, so to speak, that I've gone down recently to find more guests for our show, to build and grow in the community and networking, was I found alignable.com. I had heard of Alignable like years ago, but there wasn't much there. But recently, Alignable has shown up everywhere in my email box, in my feed, and I became the Alignable Alliance ambassador for the Triad. That's a mouthful. But what that means is I help Alignable grow by doing in-person events. And the very first one I did was last month at Pinspiration, and you were there, and that's where we had the chance to meet. And then we did a Smart Connect, which is like a Zoom the other day, and you were on it again. And I am so glad that we've got to meet. But then again, now here you are. So how have you been using Alignable for a long time?
Not for a long time, actually. I'm new in business, so I started using Alignable for the last 3 months or so. We basically got recommended by one of my one. It's not a colleague; it's someone that we share an office here in Winston, in the same building, and we started networking and engaging with her, and she recommended the platform, and I think so far it's been great. I think it's but I'm using it regularly now, and I have met so many great professionals and people that are going through the same journey as I am, which is really exciting. And the event that you mentioned was a month ago, or I think, or probably 45 days ago or so, in Greensboro, was a really good opportunity to meet business owners as well in the Triad area. So it's really exciting to me, and I'm really happy of being using that tool, and I think it's great to know people and professional like yourself as well. Yeah.
Completely. Referrals are kind of the lifeblood of a lot of businesses, right? We all want more referrals, and the only way you get there's a difference in looking at everybody you meet as a potential customer or looking at certain people that you meet as a referral partner, right? And that's always refreshing, and I think that's what Alignable does. So, not really much of a shout out or plug for Alignable here. It wasn't the purpose of this, but that's how we met in person and how we'll continue to strengthen our relationship. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about Stand Strong, and a lot of business owners talk about their why. Right? You hear it all the time, like their why they got into business. Why did you do this? I want to talk a little bit about your when. So what I mean by that is, when did you realize that fencing and a fencing business was going to be your calling and the thing that you wanted to do?
Well, I started in this journey probably, at the back end of last year. And when I started doing all my research about different industries, actually, to become an entrepreneur and business owner, and I rapidly, I assessed probably 16 different brands and concepts and industries as well. And I ended up sort of, if you like, shortlisting 3 key industries, right? Especially in the Carolinas, in the area that we operate, which is at that time were pets, kids, and home services. And within home services, actually, as part of my research, one of the industries where we, when I mean we, myself and my wife, we're the business owners here. We look at the best potential to growth in the area. Fencing was one of them. So it's one of the reasons why we decided to join fencing was the growth potential in our area. It's a lot of new developments, not only residential, but also commercial developments happening across the Triad. That's one of the key reasons. And the other thing is, I don't think it's a massively professional industry at this point in time. There are really big players, right? But it's an industry that is growing, and it's a lot of new emerging technologies that are coming to play into fencing, which is something that really, got our attention to say, well, look, this is an industry that it seems fun actually as well, because the other thing is what gives us a lot of satisfaction is when we go to either a commercial or a residential owner and we see how you transform their space. And you see how they create, a different environment on their properties. It's really fulfilling to us as well. So I think it was a combination of those different elements that brought us into fencing. And last but not least, I think it's also when we moved here to North Carolina almost 3 years ago, we fell in love with the area. I mean, we, as you said at the beginning, we live in 4 different countries, and we really fell in love the moment that we landed here. And I think it's a good way also to build community in Winston-Salem and across the Triad. So working on those different fronts.
Awesome. No, I will echo the sentiment. We moved to Greensboro almost 7 years ago now. In a few months, it'll be 7 years. And I can't believe how fast time flies. First of all, it feels like 3 years, but it's been 7. But it's like, I tell people all the time, it's like my favorite place I've ever lived. I love being in the Triad. I just think everything is here. And if I want the beach, I'm 3 hours. If I want the mountains, I'm 2 hours. If I want a city, I can go to like 7 of them within 3 hours. It's wild. So I love that. So let's talk a little bit about maybe a project that you've done or a challenge that you've had in business where you thought, man, we just made the impossible possible. Have you overcome a huge hurdle in any of your projects yet that you could talk about?
Yeah, I can talk about a project that we did probably 3 weeks ago, actually. And it was this business owner, actually, I was driving my truck, which I have it fully wrapped, and he stopped in the middle of the street on a Saturday afternoon. And I went, well, yeah, I mean, you do fences? Yes, we do. Well, his story is, he called 6 different fencing companies to request an assessment for the fencing project that he has, which was really complex. So he wanted to increase the height of his existing arch-top fencing, which is kind of a standard 6 foot. He wanted to go at high of 8 or 9 foot.
Wow.
In a corner with a slope, which is massively complicated because he has big construction happening in the back of his yard. So he told me, I have called 6 different companies. 4 of them have never show up. 1 show up, never provided an estimate, and they said, well, this is way too difficult for us. We won't do it. So we went to his property together with my sales consultant, which is a guy that has an amazing experience in fencing. So he's been doing fences for 15 years, and he's a great, a great fencing professional. So we look at it and we said, look, this won't be easy. But at the end of the day, we took the risk, actually. It took us, like, when you do a fence, you got to frame, right, the fence. So we needed to reframe that 3 times in order to get the progressive height increase that he wanted to get to it. But we got it done. And I think it was quite fulfilling from that perspective. I think we, after listening really carefully to what he wanted to do, we provided the solution at the end that was feasible for him. And he was really pleased with the outcome. And we also were really pleased that, to overcome such a big challenge. So yeah, that's one of the good things that we have done thus far has been that one.
That is awesome. I mean, you said so many key things there, but you took the time to listen and you provided a solution. And that's really, at the end of the day, people don't want a fence. They want a solution, right? They don't want marketing. They want results. They want a solution to these things that problems. They want more time. They want more money. They want more privacy. They want, whatever it may be. So, oh man, that's what a cool story and what a great project. I hope he gave you a good review on Google or something, or good referrals. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So, let's just go back. We might even want to go back a little bit further than when you were starting the business, but let's just say that when you were a little, let's just go back a couple of months or even a couple of years. But if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice when you were just kind of thinking about your entrepreneurial journey or starting the business, what would you tell yourself and why?
I think one of the things, the first thing is, don't doubt that you can do it. I think you gotta take the risk and take the leap if you really want to do something different at some point in your career. Right? As you know, I spent 25 years in corporate. I think I had a really great career, living 4 different countries. I worked with a multitude of different professionals, and I really enjoy that. But at some point, I always wanted to get into being a business owner, entrepreneur, and it's something that in the back of my head I always had, and especially with my wife. My wife is an entrepreneur of the family, so she used to run her own company, 18 years ago, quite successful. And then we joined this expat life, and she sort of put her business aside for some time. But I think my key recommendation is, first, do a proper due diligence. That's one of the things. Don't jump into a business opportunity that you think is the best one just based on people's opinions. So take the time actually to do your diligence as much as detail as needed. As I mentioned before, I assessed like 16 different models and even industries, right? And take your time. So that, for me, that's the first advice. The second one is really be conscious about how much can you risk. That's really important, right? So if you have unlimited budget, I don't think everybody has unlimited budget to make an investment, but just be conscious about how much risk can you actually face. And I think this third one is find an industry or a business or a model that really excites you, right? So I'm really excited about fencing nowadays. All I see when I drive around is fences, and every day I'm learning something new about the industry, about how you build and how to operate. And I think that's really key. So it keeps me motivated, actually, in order to put all the effort that I'm putting behind making this business grow. So I think that will be the 3 elements for me.
I love that. I absolutely love that you had three. And you made me chuckle. Like, you said now all you see is fences around. Like, I spot advertisements all the time, and like, different marketing.
Yeah.
But the thing it really reminded me of when you said that was whenever I get a new car, which is every 5-6 years or something. Whenever I get a new car, all of a sudden I see that car everywhere on the roads. I don't know why it's happened, but like, subconsciously, where it's like we're looking for it, and now you're looking at signs. That's awesome, and I love that you're learning so much.
Yeah.
So you talked about a business that was kind of reinventing their outdoor space and building something higher, and we're seeing lots of design is kind of hot, right? And especially after, I think, since the pandemic, a lot of people are like, we need to reinvent our outdoor space because we're spending more time in it. So what's the most surprising trend that you've noticed about how people are using fences to transform their properties?
I think it's how people is really integrating the fences into creating a outdoor space, if you know what I mean, right? So a lot of the projects that we're assessing or doing as well is people really converting the outdoor space more than a backyard. Like, everybody's like putting the boundary before that you help to get the privacy, but it's a lot of new trends about people converting those outdoor spaces into something that is livable, that they can really enjoy all year long. That's one thing. And I think the second one is how the fence design is being incorporated into creating a more decorative options to the environment, right? So if you have the opportunity to look at our catalog, you will see a lot of different designs that were available, right? And not in traditional materials such as wood. I mean, if you look at vinyl fences, for example, it's a lot of new designs that are being put out there in the market. So that's one of the key trends that we see. And one that I'm sure that is going to come really, really soon is about environmentally friendly materials into fencing. I mean, when you use wood, it is environmentally friendly materials, but it's also how you can create ecosystems, if you like, using fences. So it's something that we see a lot of trends in the market at this point in time.
Interesting. Very, very cool. Hey, I've got a quick question. Aside from what we talked about, so I have a very big fence, a very, very big fence. It's a couple of hundred lineal feet. It's big. And I hope this helps somebody that's watching this. I did water seal on it a few years ago, and it's gotten dirty again. And I know you're supposed to do it every couple of years, but that is a chore. That job took me forever, and I spent a lot of money on water seal. Is that how often should you do that? And would it have made more sense just to stain it? What's best for wood for long-term protection?
The best thing for long-term protection for wood is staining. But you got to do it regularly. Like, my recommendation is every 18 to 2 years. 18 months to 2 years, you should be staining that wood fence, right? Otherwise, wood's a material that is going to be impacted by the environment no matter what. That's the reality. But if you keep it, if you do the regular maintenance on it, and you do that every 2 years, and one thing that people and we see these a lot of times as well, you gotta clean. If you have a lot of, for example, in this time of the year, which is fall, and you have a lot of leaves actually, and you leave those by the fence, that's going to be affecting the durability of that wood fence. So you gotta clean those leaves under it, otherwise the wood is going to rot at some point in time. And a lot of the repairs that we see is precisely people not cleaning, if you like, under the fence or removing those leaves that are coming out of fall, that is going to be affecting the wood. But to your question, every 18 months to 2 years is the recommended time to do proper staining. Yeah.
All right, so I am way behind on this. I have to do it again. I got to get a good sprayer that can do it a little bit faster than the last time. So
we do a staining as well, and we provide free estimates, as you know. So if
look at that. See, there we go. Maybe we just have to come up with something where my wife will be like, "All right, we can pay for it instead of you going out and doing it." 'Cause that's not what I do. So
I'll be happy.
Well, listen.
Free quote.
Awesome. Well, I will take that free quote. We'll have to arrange that afterwards. So, Joel, listen, I've got one more question for you, and this has been fun, and I'm so glad we've had the chance to meet. You are building something really special here with Stand Strong, and one of the things that you said earlier was that there isn't the industry of building fences, like the fencing industry, is not known for its professionalism, so to speak. I mean, it's kind of like guys show up in a truck and they build a fence or they put up your fence. And I think what you're doing is something really special. So beyond the type of materials you use, beyond the warranties, what do you think is the one unfair advantage that makes you virtually impossible to compete with?
I'll give you the one that I think you will notice. If I go to your house to provide an estimate, you will see it. So we have a state-of-the-art technology that we use in Stand Strong fencing. So we have a system that is an in-house system that was developed by us, where you can see first, a satellite view of your fence. How is it going to look in your backyard, in the property, whatever need you have. And we also have a visualizer, actually, which is a 3D modeling that I can go and do with my phone. So we're investing a lot of money on technology beyond, putting the typical estimate on a paper. We do everything through that system, which is the name of the system is Fence Flow. And in that system, you can see fully integrated with, my entire catalog, the different models that we have. And I can show my customers actually how the fence is going to look like in their backyard, in their property, prior to do any installation. So I think that's one of the key elements. And the second one, we have a 24 hours call center. So anytime that you have a need and your fence got let's say that you got impacted by storm and you need to repair your fence, we're 24/7. The call center is open. So one of the guarantees that we offer is that we're going to be picking up the phone and we're going to put you in the schedule as soon as we can. So I think those three elements for me are the ones that make the big difference in a Stand Strong fencing. And of course, the quality that we offer in our products. So we provide a lifetime workmanship warranty for every single install that we do. And we also work with the best, materials distributors in the country.
Awesome. So not only did you have the three things that were beyond the materials and warranty, you also have a great warranty and great materials. I love that. Well, Joel, thank you so much for coming on Meet the Experts today. I really do appreciate it. You're definitely a valuable asset to the Triad community. I know that the more business owners that meet you, the more referrals and business you're going to get. I feel lucky and blessed to get to meet you and get to see you now periodically here. Look, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for being a guest today.
You too, though. Thank you very much for having me. That was really fun.
I told you it was going to go quick.
Exactly. No, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You got it. Talk to you soon. All right. Joel with Stand Strong Fencing, great guy. And Joel's one of those people where you meet him and he exudes like this guy does good work. There's certain people that are professional and certain people where you're like, I don't know how good they are. I believe that he's out there every day doing excellent work. At the beginning of the episode, I told you that Meet the Experts was powered by Journey Builder. Journey Builder is more than just a marketing software solution. It is an all-in-one business process and business improvement solution. We can handle anything from your websites and your email and text and marketing, all the way through your invoicing, your not bookkeeping, your invoicing, your proposals, your estimates, your phone system, your CRM, and more. So manage your entire business and technology right from Journey Builder. if you're interested in that, you can go to getjourneybuilder.com. There it is. And it always goes this way, getjourneybuilder.com. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you'll see our next episode, episode 108, to be hitting your social media and emails very, very soon. Until then, I don't know when this is going to actually go out, but I think probably around Thanksgiving now. So happy Thanksgiving. And if you don't see this till later, happy next Thanksgiving, whenever that is. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. See you on the next Meet the Experts.